Well, welcome. You've come to the edge. Since 9/11, we've all been on the edge. Addressing this may be helped in this book that Samar Jarah has written tonight, or before this, and it's a quest that we all have, is to get together, come together. I have to make mention that next month my show will be taken over by Ben Dichter, a young man who's head of Mobilize Youth, and he'll be doing it in July, August, and September. And then I'll come back in October and pick up where he left off, and he's going to have his own show at that point as well. Samar Jarah has written a book called Arab Voices Speak to American Hearts, and this is what will be discussed tonight, her book. I'm going to read a little about her background. She's begged me not to talk too much about name dropping here, but I'm going to drop a couple names anyway. She was born in Kuwait of Palestinian parents, naturalized American citizen she is. Lived in Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. She interviewed the following people: Edward Shevardnadze, some of you may know who that is, Minister of the Soviet Union; Rajiv Gandhi, late Prime Minister of India; King Hussein of Jordan; Queen Noor of Jordan; Tariq Aziz, who's in prison in Iraq. And distinction, she worked as a project volunteer for Mrs. Hosni Mubarak, the wife of the Egyptian president. I'm going to shift to this page, which says she has a Master of Arts degree in Political Science, University of South Florida, Tampa, 99, emphasis in comparative politics, a thesis, a vital role of water in Jordan, the river basin, and the peace process. And that seems to be a real emphasis of yours today. Bachelor of Arts in Middle East Studies, American University in Cairo in 83, and a Fulbright scholarship, and that never goes away. You can't bury that as much as you might try. And you had a stint with CNN in Amman, Jordan, as a reporter. And
contributor, actually.
And a contributor.
No, not a reporter, a contributor to a program called CNN World Report that was a Sunday program where reporters from all over the world would send 3 minutes from their home countries. So I was always based in Amman, Jordan.
Well, that clarifies that. News editor and reporter for Jordan Television, JTV, Amman, Jordan. Editor and reporter, Jordan Weekly, Amman, Jordan. Political science instructor, University of South Florida. And I guess you were an adjunct teacher at University of South Florida in 99 and 01. So I will not go further with that. I will move on to your major concern, the book itself. Samar has a very serious quest, and she has. I just let you talk about your book from this point forward.
Augie, thanks for having me on the show. The book now is out, and it's called Arab Voices Speak to American Hearts. And the reason I wrote the book is because my students in the past 15 years in the US have been nagging and asking me to reach a larger audience because of the propaganda or lack of information or the stereotyping of everything that is Arab or Muslim. And coming to my classes and learning about history and geography and talking and dealing with me, they realized that I represent a different image of what they think of Arab women or Muslim women on TV. So really their prodding made me want to write the book to reach a larger audience. The idea of this book really came to me very suddenly, and in a strange manner. I write it in the introduction, and I said, you know, I have been doing public speaking for the past maybe 4 years extensively, and you have attended several of those, and I always end up answering questions on behalf of the Arabs living in the Arab world. And I thought, you know, maybe after 3 years of doing that, why I don't let the Arab people themselves answer these questions. So I sent an email to Americans on my email list, and I said, if you had a question, if you had a chance to ask an Arab a question, what would that question be? And I asked all these people to ask people on their email list, and I ended up with hundreds and hundreds of emails by Americans from all walks of life, people of course who own the internet and a computer, from all walks of life from all over America, who sent me a lot of questions that I compiled about 100 of them, put them on flashcards, bought a tape recorder, and went to Jordan, Egypt, and Kuwait. And as randomly as possible, I ended up with 12 people in my book, both men and women, young and old, Muslim and Christian, and they all enjoyed very much the opportunity to talk directly to the American people.
Now, the countries you traveled in, would you say were more westernized than some of the others, or how would they compare?
No, actually, the picking those countries came somehow coincidentally, because I was planning to visit family in 2 of these countries. But if you look at the map of the Arab world, you will find that Egypt will represent North Africa, Kuwait will represent the Gulf region,
right,
and Jordan would represent Greater Syria. This book is not an academic book. It is not a book where I put history and statistics. It was a very simple housewife's attempt to to start a dialogue between the two people, because I meet a lot of Americans from all walks of life, from all religious and political backgrounds. Whether I differ with them or agree with them on issues, there is always a willingness to talk. There is always a willingness to understand and to read more. The same thing is on the other side in the Arab world, and I feel that there is so much in common between these two people that all I wanted to do is find a mechanism, a way for them to talk directly, without censorship, without government interference, without whatever images are portrayed on TV, either in this world or that world. So the purpose really, Augie, is to start the dialogue, and they can do that by answering the questions that the Americans posed, and by the Arabs.
Hold your book up.
And here is the book, Arab Voices Speak. I have my notes. These green things are my notes. Arab Voices Speak to American Hearts, and I have a website, my website is www.arabvoicesspeak.com, and they can go on the website either to buy the book or to answer the questions, to disagree with whatever Camille
So
or
you
Ola.
offer the questions to
The questions, the 100 questions posed by Americans are in the book, and in return the Arabs said, Samar, it's not fair to ask me to answer questions on the minds of Americans and not give me a chance also to ask the American people's question, because really we have a lot of questions on our minds. So there is a Post Your Voice on my website where the Americans and the Arabs can start the dialogue and start talking to each other, disagreeing, agreeing, find a common way between them. But we must start the dialogue, because the alternative is usually violent or chaos. And I thought that this book might help start the dialogue.
let's see, I'm going to pull out a little dialogue that was made mention. Ola, 44 years old, an attorney from Amman, Jordan, a Muslim. As an Arab lawyer who likes the American people, I would like to tell the American president that he needs to treat us the way he treats Americans, as we are all condemned we all condemn the criminal actions of September 11th and the death of the innocent people. We ask Americans to condemn the killing of Iraqis and Palestinians. Now that has a very strict and direct resonance in humanity.
Yes, despite what was said after September 11 until this day, that not too many Arabs condemned September 11, or not too many clerics, Muslim clerics condemned it, you will find that it is unanimous, whether in the book or the people that I got to talk to in the hundreds who never made it to the book, that they do abhor the fact that